Mariameno Kapi-Kingi.
Kia ora, tēnā koe te pika, tēnā tātou katoa. Mr. Speaker, so the context of this is, and I've heard it referred to briefly, in terms of the numbers where I come from, Te Taitokero, in a cute little place that Penny and I know, which is Kyle. 25 years on boil notice, and one tiny little place in Kyle. Te Kyle no different. So you have to either buy your water or boil it. And clearly this is what this bill ignores completely. So this, in my opening discussion, brace yourself, Māori erasure. A theme extended into even water services. I don't know, I can feel people prickling, but just hold on. The alienation of Te Iwi Māori from the local government water services bill is merely a continuation of the infringements on the rights of tangata whenua under Te Tio Waitangi, just to throw that in. The key difference between the previous reform, and I've got some experience in that because 11 iwi across the Taitokero, tai mai Waikato, tai atu ki te reinga, combined under a body called Waipuna Arangi in the Three Waters gig. And we thought, this is, let's give this a go. Let's do our best because we are our own solutions. Well, that's been taken away and shut away because good ideas that are designed and delivered by Māori clearly don't make the cut with this current government. The difference is, so government's current repeal and replace policy is that the previous reform recognised and provided for Te Iwi Māori. It does not. In this bill, it does not. In fact, it ignores it and puts it to the side. But we're kind of used to that. It's been a year of that. The ongoing Crown position that everyone owns the water is designed to extinguish the rights of tangata whenua. I don't know how many times we need to say this for the left side of the House to actually sink in and understand that at a very fundamental level. But clearly, if you don't have the capacity to do that, you simply can't get it. Because you always have an already always listening, an already always racist listening, which is well, you can't say that, can you? When you're Pāka guy, you just can't say that. So let's move along. Nowhere in this new bill, Mr. Speaker, are council obligated to consult with Te Iwi Māori. Nowhere in this bill. For this reform to be successful, she says laughingly, negotiations between government and hapu and iwi have to occur. They have to happen, but they don't. Not really. They might say, oh look, I'll choose that Māori because, oh one, that's part Māori. Let's choose the part Māori and let's talk to that bit and see what we get across the line. And there might be people in this house that understand the concept of part Māori. It astounds me, whatever the hell that is, or whatever that is. Sorry, Mr. Speaker. This is exactly what the tribunal, Waitangi Tribunal, recommended to our last government during the establishment of Three Waters. The Crown should be working directly with hapu and iwi to create a standard process for addressing Māori rights. I'm not going to hold my breath, and nor is the 100,000 people that visited recently to say you are utterly mucking up. And quit, just let's think about this and try have a decent and treaty-based conversation, but that's unlikely to happen. For the most part, local councils are expected to join or establish new water service entities labelled as council-controlled organisations, who are funded via grants by the government. For these organisations to secure funding from government, they must have no link to council or council decision-making. Try and figure that one out. What this means is that these organisations will, in part, be privatised and entirely separate entities from council. Be aware that this partial privatisation is the stepping stone for complete privatisation of water as a whole. And the danger in this is that our water is then managed and owned, not by ourselves, but by companies and organisations who will likely lead the erosion of water as belonging to the people and instead will prioritise corporate interests over our welfare. Our position of the party is unequivocally in opposition to this bill. This government can send their agenda of Māori erasure down the pipeline of one out of the Three Waters they intend to manage. Kia ora, Mr. Speaker.
Stuart Smith.
Okay, well that's actually very interesting about Te Taitokero.
Do you want this part Māori to give their commentary?
Yeah, why not? Why not?
I am a part Māori, and I'm okay with having a mixed whakapapa. So maybe she would like me. I'm the mixed Māori that can give some commentary on this. But yeah, so this has been going on since about 2021. So I'm a part of Ngāi Tahu. I descend from Ngāi Tahu. So yeah, Ngāi Tahu in 2001, they rejected National's claims that it would take 50% ownership of water assets in the South Island. And that's because Ngāi Tahu, as well as I do, believes that water infrastructure assets must remain in public ownership. Ngāi Tahu doesn't want to own any Three Waters infrastructure or any of that sort of infrastructure. What they wanted to do, and this is, I found this to be quite a common thread amongst different iwi boards, is that they want to share governance responsibilities as a means to safeguard against attempts by future governments to privatise water assets. So this is the reason why under Three Waters you had Māori involvement, because what they were trying to do is prevent water, something that as Māori we believe that everyone has a right to, from going private, because we don't want corporations selling water at an arm and a leg when it's just a basic fucking human right to have clean drinking water.
Yes, and I mean, and a great example of doing that is electricity, and also was it refined fuels such as petrol and diesel?
Yep. I mean, when I was doing my treaty submissions bill, I was looking into the history of Akaroa, and I found that the council had a big old fat sewage station or sewage treatment plant down in Akaroa that they kind of put there without the consent of my hapu. So they just built shit and polluted the bay with shit. And it's like, yeah, maybe, in the future, can we have a say on that? Like, can we not put the poop over here? Can we find a better place to put the poop? That's what iwi partnership looks like. Is just discussing where are we going to put the shit and how are we going to run it.
Yeah.
It's not a big scary thing like, oh, the Māori own everything and we're going to kick you off the land. No, we're not interested in that.
It's like I can tell you right now, you would never see a sewage treatment plant build in St. Stephen's Ave in Parnell.
Yeah.
Which is known as the street that John Key used to live down.
Yeah, you're not going to put the sewage plant there.
Yeah, that's where the rich people live. But the question is, why should, you've got to be very clear where you actually put that to treat it and how you treat it and how you get the right treatment from it.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, at this point, it looks like Wellington is going to have the country's leading best sewage treatment plant.
Yeah. It's funny because everyone's like, oh, that Wellington Council is full of woke greenies. And like, yeah, but they've got the best sewage plant.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing.
They're not full of shit, literally.
And it's actually about to go, it's in the process of being built to be a step better for the next 30 to 40 years.
Mm.
Because, the previous system which is about to become retired was a very good system that worked. But the issue is the reason why it couldn't keep going the way it was going was because general race was going down naturally by the free market, and in order to continue disposing it in the southern landfill, you had to have 1 part sewage, 4 parts general waste.
Now,
and the thing was, the amount of rubbish that Wellington City was disposing was dropping and could not maintain that ratio.
Mm-hmm.
And it would mean we'd have to give up recycling. And that doesn't go down with the waste minimisation requirements.
I just want to speak quickly before we move on to the next speech about the idea of Māori erasure. Now, I know a lot of people on the right wing are going to get, gonna fucking go when they hear it. But what she's meaning by that is that Māori are losing the ability to be represented on the councils as we speak. You got the referendums coming up with the wards, and it's really important that we don't lose those voices because a lot of, like I said before, when it came to Akaroa, we're talking about building shit on Māori-owned land without consent. And it's really important that, hey, if you don't want to cause a break in social cohesion and stuff like that, that you talk to other people.
Yeah.